What's going on, No Carbs Nation? How are we doing today? Hey, this is a follow-up to the video I made last week asking you to ask me questions, right? Questions for No Carbs Nation. So before we get started, I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not a nutritionist. This is not medical advice. This is my opinion based on my experience as a 50-year-old man. All right, now without further ado, I put out a video last week asking you to ask me questions surrounding this lifestyle, this diet, so to speak, or training, or pretty much anything. And I'm going to be honest here. I was waiting to see if I got any response, and if I got no responses, no questions, I was really leaning towards just shutting this experiment down, this channel. So it's been almost 2 years. In fact, it'll be 2 years next month, I believe. It just isn't quite the direction I'd hoped for. So I thought, you know what? If I get no questions, that's the sign to shut it down. Well, luckily or unluckily, I had one subscriber ask 2 questions. So I'm going to butcher the name. It's Viality205. I apologize if I mispronounce the name in any way. I'm really not sure how to pronounce it, but I do thank you for asking these 2 questions. So without further ado, let's get to it. So the first question was, and I'm paraphrasing here because I'm not reading the screen, but were you on any statins when starting this lifestyle? So, despite the best efforts of not only one doctor, not 2 doctors, but 3 doctors that had aggressively pushed and requested and somewhat demanded that I take a statin, I have not. I have refused all of their attempts, and I have not taken a statin. And will I ever take a statin? I guess that depends. I think it would have to be a pretty, desperate, dire type situation, an extreme situation, if you will. So now, before I'd ever consider taking a statin, I would want multiple tests done, not just the standard blood work. Standard blood work isn't enough. So I've had a CAC test. Probably going to schedule another one because it's been 2 years since I had that CAC test. I would get some other scans done just to make sure. So I'm not going to go just on blood work alone. So if there's enough scans, enough tests that show actual severe blockage or calcification, I guess at that point I might start considering, but no, never been on a statin, no plans to ever be on a statin. I'm not a big fan of statins. You can do your own research, but my research tells me bad news. All right, so that was question number 1. Question number 2 was, when I was obese, prior to going to this lifestyle, what food addictions did I have? Ooh, good question. So, first and foremost, I had a potato chip addiction. Oh my goodness gracious. I loved potato chips. True addict. I loved that crunch, that salt, and it didn't matter what kind, what brand. Pretty much all kinds of chips, all kinds of flavors. I would eat chips damn near by the bag full. And I would eat them throughout the day, throughout the night. Just true chip addict. Now, when I went keto at first, low carb, cheese crisps and pork rinds helped me beat that chip addiction. You just got to be careful. Some pork rinds contain a lot of unnecessary ingredients and things that are bad for you. Same as crisps, so just read the labels. Let's see here, other food addictions. Pasta. I was a huge pasta guy, right? Anything Italian, I would love to eat. Spaghetti, rigatoni, manicotti. I mean, you name it. If it had pasta and it had a sauce, I was in. I was all for it. Mexican food was another one that I would say I had a food addiction to. Tortillas and stuff like that. All the chips and salsa. Yes. And then I'm going to say Asian food, right? Back in the day, I used to, at lunchtime, we'd go to an Asian buffet. Talk about food that probably wasn't the healthiest. So, probably a soda pop addiction. I know it's not a food, it's a beverage, but you get the idea. And peanut butter and jelly. Gosh, I know there was times back in the day where peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. I'd go days of eating nothing but peanut butter and jelly. So that's off the top of my head. That's all the food addictions I could think of. Chips, pasta, Mexican, Asian, peanut butter and jelly. And all those foods are pretty bad for you. That's obviously my health suffered greatly because of those foods that I chose to eat. So that's it. That's the two questions that I was asked by one viewer. I've got 154 subscribers. That means 153 of you either don't really watch my videos, don't really care for my content, or simply had no questions. I don't know. But so luckily this one subscriber, this one guest, and their two questions, I guess kept the No Carbs Nation YouTube page on life support, so to speak. So that's it. That's my spiel for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, hit the notify. Let's spread the message of better health. All right. As always, thanks again for watching. I love you, No Carbs Nation. We'll talk to you next time. Stay strong.